Hello everybody, welcome back to Cure for the Common Game. Today in deck number 439, we're going to talk about the first Sliver, everybody's favorite tribe. But first, I want to give a shout out and a thank you to Marcus Aurelius. He is our newest patron. Thank you so much. If y'all would like to become a patron, you can head on over to Patreon/Cure for the Common Game. And let's get into this Sliver. We got yet another 5-color Sliver. Evidently, that's a thing they're going to keep doing. Now, I've noticed ever since Slivers came about in Tempest, there is nobody that I have ever met who is just like, they're okay. You either love them or you hate them. Now, I say that, but I think I'm one of those, they're okay. But I'll be honest with you, I am so tired of building this deck. There's only so many ways you can build it differently, so I decided, with this one, to build it differently. I built it without black or red, so what is that, white, blue, green? I think that's Bant. Just for something different. I don't know. I mean, you got to have green in 5 colors for color fixing. So let's get into that first. We will ramp or color fixing, what have you. Of course, I have various artifact rocks, the Azorus Signet, Simic Key Rune, Selesnya, Simic, Talisman of Curiosity, and this Pillar of Origins, because, choose a creature type. Seems pretty good. Farseek, Sylvan Scrying can go get that specific land we need. Explosive Veg will probably end up going and getting the one mountain and the one swamp to cast the commander, if that's a thing that we have to do. Mana Weft and Gemhide they're super mana dorks. I mean, they turn your team into mana dorks, so that's very, very not bad. So let's look at the actual Slivers. I think these are actually still in CMC order. We'll look at it. As with most Slivers, this is a creature-heavy deck. Now, I went back and looked at the previous 2 that I have built. I have not built the super expensive one now. It's like $115. What is it, the Overlord? Still don't have that one, but built the other 2. As y'all know, the Sliver Queen is commander of a not Sliver deck. It is the Weatherlight Saga deck, deck number 100, which I had to have a 5-color commander that was in that particular storyline, so there we are. But anyway, Plated Sliver, Screeching, so I'm just going to blow through some of these and stop at the highlights. Like Virulent Sliver, this is a win condition. Poisonous One was their attempt before Infect, but it's weird. Poisonous One, if the creature dealt damage to them, they got a poison counter. Now, while it seems like it makes sense on the surface, if you've got a 5/5 and it deals damage to them, they get 1 poison counter. So, I don't know. I think it wasn't as strong as they thought it was, so Infect kind of, I don't know that there's a middle ground there, but it seems like Infect was just almost a little too much. But anyway, Gale Rider is another just absolutely insane. I could not believe that they gave this ability to a 1-mana Sliver in M14. Now, Crystalline Sliver, of course, kind of a necessity. We're not running any, we're running 1 creature enchantment, so Crystalline Sliver brings out the board wipes. It truly does. Of course, Predatory Sliver and Muscle Sliver being, almost the same card. Quick Sliver, it's our Veldalkinore. JLK will be proud of us. Victual Sliver, Talon, Sentinel, the original Winged. Sometimes I actually call it Winged Sliver, which is weird because it's winged. I guess it doesn't matter. It's a tomato thing, but I don't know. I think this is the only card I tend to pronounce winged. It's weird. Sliver, of course, I'm just weird. Sinew is another, the color shifted muscle sliver. Now, this looks like a sliver. It looks like a creature. It acts like a creature. But you need to play it like a sorcery. This is another overrun, essentially, because once you play the Shadow Sliver, you can't block anymore. I don't care if you've got flying and first strike and can't be slapped or whatever. It's, yeah, all your stuff is unblockable, but you can't block either, because not very many people play Shadow Creatures. Of course, I try to squeeze it in whenever possible, but I kind of treat Shadow Sliver like a overrun type sorcery. I plan on winning this turn. Lancer, Scuttling, Tempered, Telekinetic. Now, Shifting Sliver is, oh god, the phrase popped in my head from Evan Irwin. Stone Cold Nutter Butters. This is outstanding. Can't be blocked except by slivers. There's a good chance there's not two sliver decks at the table. Well, I don't know. Nowadays, with this card, the resurgence of slivers, it's possible. And the fact that they're giving that Overlord out as a Judge promo. Root Sliver. I actually had my Chameleon I was playing against a Sliver deck, and I had Root Sliver out, and someone tried to counterspell my Chameleon Colossus. And I was like, nope. It felt good. Reflex Sliver, Fungus, Mesmeric. The big boy Might Sliver, giving them +2. Brood. Wow, that's pretty good. Ward Sliver, Megantic, Sliver's First Chosen, Pulmonic. Let me hit the camera one more time. Ground Shaker, and Steel Form. That completes the actual creature part of it. So that's a whole lot of slivers. And the wild part about slivers is they don't look like much individually because they're the Borg. I stand behind it. That's where R&D got the idea back in Original Tempest, because the idea is the slivers or Borg is a single collective, and what one of them knows, all of them know. Does that sound familiar? Anyway, not that this is a bad thing, but that's just my opinion. Let's look at some card draw. Harmonize it. It's a decent card draw. Urban Evolution's going to get us 3 deep and drop an additional land. Glimpse of Nature, we do have a lot of lower end creatures, so it's easily to recover from a board wipe, because let's face it, they're happening. And you can draw you a couple cards. How many cards do you got to have off of a Glimpse for it to be worth it? My opinion, 1. Really, to be honest with you. In that case, it would be 1 mana, 1 card. Would you play that? Yeah, which we already do. It's in blue all the time. If you can get 2 or 3, what are you talking about? 3 is a green Ancestral Recall at sorcery speed, so that's Distant Melody, Tribal, and Camaraderie, because that's life gain and card draw and creature pump, and it's all the things that we want to be doing. Now, because of the resurgence in Sliver style decks, I put Peer Pressure in. And also it does work for those Tarian Maul or Chameleon Colossus mirror entities, because those are the 3 that people love to play for shapeshifters. And hope somebody's not playing Misform Ultimus as their commander. Of course, we do have the Overrun. Luminescent Rain probably is not slot worthy. Is that a slot worthy? I guess it is now. But I'll admit, I was looking through the Lorwyn binder. It was shiny. It's tribal. Yeah, I'm that guy. Hive Stirrings, Alpha Status. That's our only aura that's in the deck, because it's really good. Simic Ascendancy is going to give us another win con, just in case we can't bust through a pillow fort or something. A Johnny the Greathearted, he's kind of an honorary sliver here. He contributes to the collective. Our slivers have vigilance, and I can put a counter on every creature I've got, all my slivers. So, what makes me sad about this card is it's not even $1. This is a decent card. It really is. I feel that this is a decent card. Let's look at our other fun stuff here. Of course, I got Bant Charm, Naturalize, Negate, Turn to Frog. Oh, I have Harmonic Slivered with the removal. I guess that's right. That's kind of why I went so light on the removal packages, because, if you got the Harmonic, in theory. Now, playing Bant Slivers does kind of cripple yourself, and some may say needlessly. I could put the Homing Slivers just as a one-of red card in there, but I really wanted to stay true to Bant. Deglammer's our last non-land card, and then I have, of course, the non-basic lands. Command Tower, Promenade, Plaza, Evo Wild, Thornwood Wild, Simic Guildgate, Blossoming Sands, Elfane Palace, and Sun Petal Grove. And that is it for the Sliver deck. Like I said, I am not entirely enthused about the deck. I was able to trade for the card at the big Modern 1K that we just had. So, I did not pull it out of my box. Y'all saw that, or at least I guess the patrons did, because I think that video was patron only, wasn't it? Oh, there it is. I thought I'll put the commander in there. See, that's the advantage of having this. What this is it's called a character guard sleeve. I'm not exactly certain who makes them. Ultra Pro, if you make a version of this, let me know. I would love to use yours. And that design there is pretty neat. But I've heard of some years ago, and I can't find them on the internet now, that's got like barbed wire or hearts or just random other different stuff. But what I do with it is I put it, because it's easy to shuffle your general into the deck, right? Just at the end of a game, if it's in play. But if it's got that, it's wider, so it's going to, I shuffle it in, you can pop it, take it right out. And it does add that cool little border that kind of, the only time I use this is on commanders, so it kind of sets it off as, hey, that's a commander. I need to remember that's commander damage. So, I don't know, it's kind of neat. I've had a few questions about the, what I call the overshield, mainly because I played way too much Halo back in the day. So, first sliver is done. I've started marking, I guess you see I've started marking where I started with Archidect, so that's where I started, and I've got all of these. And then, now granted spotty, I've got like one there and one there, then I'm right there-ish, so I'm moving quite along nicely. I think I've got, 84 something, 85 in the Archidect database. So I'm getting there, and once I do, it'll be searchable, which we can look and see, hey, how many decks I got Soul Ring in, or whatever. But I do appreciate y'all watching. Y'all let me know what you think. But right now, I think we're gonna look at a Johnny's mug there, aren't we? We're gonna shuffle and cut.